Hi, I'm Stuart J. Raj,
Wimintra.
and this is South by
Southeast.
Would you date a bar girl?
Would you?
Would you? Well, the question went out there, and there's a poll. 51% of the respondents said that they would here in Thailand.
And I don't see anything wrong with that.
With
You can date whoever you want.
No, okay, let me ask you. So, if you had a customer, a foreign customer, a client or potential business partner, and you went to a dinner and the date that they brought with them was a bar girl, what would your reaction to that be?
Really depends. I have had that experiences before. Even some of your friends that bring women with a certain background, as long as they're nice and they can act appropriately, dress appropriately,
Right.
I don't see a problem.
Right.
Unless you show up with freaking hot pants and stockings and
I think in these situations, and the reality is, there are certain friends that you're inevitably going to make here, because there's a percentage of the expat population that actually meets their partner in a bar.
it's okay.
And so when they do, I would say the most awkward thing though is, say you're talking about business and all of a sudden you see that they obviously feel super uncomfortable being there.
And that's not my problem.
No, it's not your problem. I've seen you engage them well.
No, yeah, honestly, I have no problem. I have absolutely no problem with bar girls or not bar girls. I have problem with people who actually don't know what they're doing, or just people that actually stupid and just waste my time.
Right.
And that's the only time that I get really upset with people. But usually bars, hookers, prostitutes don't care. I don't really care. I really don't care.
Right, so they're just doing what they did.
Yeah.
Some people said that, they get to a certain age and they've made their money, they come here and they have an experience it's almost like buying entertainment. You retire and they do that, it's mutually beneficial. If nobody's getting hurt, well then that's it. Again, the painful bit comes when people's emotions start to get too attached, and then they realize that actually maybe this girl has several sponsors, and then it gets a bit messy. They said, I think, you don't lose your girl, you just lose your turn.
But that's also, it doesn't only happen with bar girls. It happens in normal relationship with normal women. It
True.
does happen with men. It does happen everywhere. So yeah, no, you lose your turn. It's not limited into the bar. It's everywhere.
And when you say that, I guess in a business, say dinner and stuff, it's not just a bar girl where it could get awkward with not being
Women.
able to have a conversation.
Exactly.
It's if somebody is in a very, very different setting from what they're used to, they have a different maybe educational background, a different background.
That's what I said.
It's going to be awkward.
It doesn't matter if my business counterpart brings a girl of different background, bar girls or not, or
Right.
whatever. If she can't talk, it's going to be awkward. If she's rude, it's going to be awkward. If she's dressing crazy in a business lunch, it's going to be awkward. So bar girls can evolve too. I've seen a lot of the lady with I don't know how to put this, a lady with a bar background that is not a bartender, who they changed. They can evolve, and they married the CEO of the company, and now
Yeah.
the dress is nice, and then they teach themselves English and they get education. Yeah, they change. They adopt to the
A lot of them are
surroundings.
fighters, so they actually make
Yeah,
good business
yeah.
people if they're given the resources.
Yeah, but not every one of them. But yeah,
No.
we've seen a few.
And so speaking on a business side, I can say some experiences working with companies I've seen where a fresh off the boat expat has come in. They've met the love of their life in the first week of being in the country. They say, oh, I need to save you. They go and put them in a business development position or a high position in the company, sitting them next to some lady who's actually been in the company for a lifetime. Her family might even own the company. And I've seen companies be destroyed through that. So
I have no doubt that would happen.
yeah, so while my lovely wife here is very open and has a very open and fair attitude to anybody, giving everybody a go, understand that if you actually go that extra mile and start introducing a bar girl into business situations,
You should be fired.
yeah. Okay, and so could you elaborate on that? Why should you be fired in your
Because
eyes?
then if you're if you're in this position as a CEO or director or managing director or whatever,
Yeah.
and you're stupid enough to bring someone with no business background, couldn't speak English, has no sense of business whatsoever
Yeah.
to your company, then you should be fired. You're not a good business person.
I agree. And you know what? It's not just bar girls. One of my clients, they were partners, boyfriend, girlfriend, and they knew when they brought this person in, but they really needed the skill set of this other person to come into the company. And so the expat manager thought, okay, this is fair enough, just as long as you can keep private and work life separate. And they were professional enough and they actually could do it. It was a foreign guy and a Thai lady. But the rumors that went around that company and the fact that they were there, and I could say that the rumors weren't actually warranted, but because they had a relationship at work and they saw that
That's
there was
always
favoritism,
shit.
and so
Yeah.
whether it's a bar girl or not, if you
Yeah.
have a relationship at work, especially
Yeah,
here, it can kill you.
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
And it can kill your business because when somebody leaves, they don't just leave one person, you lose a whole chunk.
Yeah.
Over there. So, would you date a bar girl?
Do whatever.
51% say that they would. I'll put a link to the study. You can go and have a read.
It shouldn't even be a problem, really.
Yeah.
Like if you walk into the bar, you find someone, she's nice to you, you're happy, you make her happy, she's happy, your money, whatever, do whatever. Really, if it doesn't hurt anybody.
What if you had a really close friend and you saw that they picked some girl up from the bar, and they were really getting attached emotionally, but you saw that the girl
You know
was
what?
actually doing a
The
job?
funny part about all this is it's never my friend that pick up someone from the bar. It's always your friend that
well,
pick up from the
but
bar. So I don't know.
Somewhat, if it was a close friend of yours that was dating a bar girl and saying this, would you?
I don't care if he's happy and he knows what he gets himself into, if he's ready for what comes after, then well, go ahead.
Right.
You need to know the nature of her work.
Yeah.
Can you accept that? If you can accept that, it's fine.
Here's a question. If a foreigner dates and then ends up marrying, say a Thai girl, should the foreigner do all they can to accommodate for Thai culture?
I guess it depends on the relationship. You just need to communicate as a couple. You need to see how far would you go for each other.
Yeah.
Like for you, for us, like parents has absolutely no influence in our lives.
The two of us, we don't have any parents, religion, or culture
I do have
influencing
parents.
us. No,
In
but
case
not
my parents are
influence.
watching.
Yeah, no, but not influencing.
No.
We love them and we take care, but
Yeah.
we are the lords of our relationship.
Yeah. So I don't expect you to go extra mile for my culture because I don't do it myself either. So it depends on the relationship really. But the key thing is you have to communicate with your partner, and I think that's where a problem appears because I guess you don't communicate enough because one of them couldn't speak the language.
Well, both of them couldn't speak each other's language. I've seen this
Yeah.
before where each side would struggle to string together even more than a few sentences in each other's language. And
That's the secret of marriage, people.
well, I don't know.
talk.
I'm thinking, how on earth do these people? What do they talk about at home?
Food.
You're hungry?
Yeah, where do you want to go? You want to buy a bag?
I don't know.
Shoes?
But
You want to have kids?
maybe that's the secret of a happy marriage. I don't know, but
Yeah.
communication is important. So that's the thing. Like, what's your emotions? But also, really, really, if you're looking for the long term, can you communicate? Do you know everything that goes on with them? Do they?
But do you really need to know everything that goes on?
Not knowing.
Life.
Are you able to talk about stuff that goes on, important things in their life?
But can you imagine being this older man coming from a different country, coming to Thailand? I would imagine that they would have seen the world, experienced, been through a lot of stuff, history, talked to a lot of women. Maybe it's that point in their life where they just want a nice girl next to them and just shut up, just don't talk to me, just sit there.
And
I just want a quiet night with someone lovely next to me, and that's what made me happy. That hey,
you could, it'd be tougher to have that back home. They come here, they can do it.
yeah,
And it
Why
works for
not?
both parties. I don't know. What do you think? Let us know what you think. Let us know your experiences in the comments below. Would you date a bar girl? Would you hire somebody who has a bar girl as a wife?
I would. I have no problem. The wife is not working for me.
Yeah, good. And then how about communication?
Yeah.
You know, that I think that's a fascinating thing. Do you have a language barrier? And if so, how do you get over that?
I guess before we end this, I think I want to add one thing is that you can date a bar girl, you can date whoever you want, as long as she can adapt and adopt your culture, your surrounding, your belief, your core belief. Oh, sorry. And if she can adopt to your personal liking and stuff like that, I think that's okay. At the end of the day, can she adapt to you and your business, nature of your business, your culture, and your friends and family?
Right. Which is actually another thing. That'd be tough though. Where did you meet? Oh, I met her in a bar. That was actually one of the things brought up. So it's something else to think about.
Maybe she was a bartender,
Yeah.
a bar manager.
Okay. Well, let us know what you think. I'm Stuart J. Raj.
Wimintra.
And this was South by Southeast. Stay tuned for the next episode. Bye.
Bye.